So we're now going to create the final petal size. So this is our largest size petal and we're going to cut 10 of them out. So just roll out your paste nice and thin as you did before. And for this one, even more so, make sure that you're rolling out nice and thin, so then you've got less to thin afterwards. So we'll take our largest petal template. And you'll notice that this one has got smooth edges as well, like the second template. So I'm just going to cut all the way around. Then I'll just smooth this out a bit. Okay. This time I'm going to use a 24 gauge wire. And I want quite a nice sturdy wire for these outer petals because it will give you greater freedom to sort of shape the outside of your flower. So you could probably get away with 26, it depends on how thick your petals are and how confident you are with the wires. But to play it safe, I'd go for a 24 gauge. Because the worst thing is when you've spent all that effort making the flower and then the wires aren't strong enough to hold your petals. So for this final one, if you rolled your paste nice and thin, then you shouldn't have too much work to do just to thin the outside. So I'm just slightly cupping the inside of my petal here, which will help it to fit into the mould. So you really want to ease it into the veinner here to try and stop it from crumpling up too much as you press it. So if you have a few creases, it doesn't matter, you normally get away with them, but you don't want the whole thing to just crease into the veinner. So give it a really good press again. And this will help with the shape as well, because you're using the full size of the veinner here. And then this time, rather than using my spoons, I have some 60, yeah, they're about 60mm balls, which I've just placed on a palette here just to stop them from rolling around. And what I'm going to do is just lay my petal over the top of the balls to help with the cup shape, and you can kind of smooth them down if they're not quite in the right position. I'm just going to bend that wire so that it curves around, and that will just help them keep that cup shape perfectly. And you can get these balls just really cheaply from eBay. I think Amazon might sell them as well, but I normally buy polystyrene balls in bulk from eBay. So I'll just show you a couple more. So really concentrating on getting them nice and thin. So you can see the size difference there once it's been thinned out. Just easing it into the veiner. So you can see this one's got a little bit of a crease, but that's okay. And then just shape it over the balls. So bend that wire down. Oops. Just carefully tease it over the edges. And you'll see I've got a setup of 5 balls here. So I will make 5 at a time and let them dry once they've sort of set up a little bit. So after, I don't know, 10-15 minutes, if they're holding their shape, then you can move them onto a spoon and just let them firm up for the rest of the, or let them dry out completely on there, and then you've got the balls ready to use for your next 5 petals. So I've made 3 here. I'm going to make another 7 to make the 10, and then we'll let them all dry out completely before we dust and assemble the flower.